Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in the mix, y'all. We in the mix. We live. We live at ABC. I appreciate everybody's patience. I got a lot of people in the building today, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody's patience, man. You know how Atlanta traffic is. Shit was hectic out there for your boy. But we gonna throw somebody up on stage today. We gonna set it off early. We got our guy Trav. We gonna throw him up on stage, but just want to welcome everybody to TCK episode 86. This is TCK Web3 News. We getting it in. You know what I mean? How y'all doing today? I gotta ask my co-host NFTia Just Cheeze. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing?
Oh man, today's been a pretty solid day. Um, oops. Today been a pretty solid day. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I was online shopping today, man. So it was a good day. I spent the day online shopping for myself and my son and my pitch competition outfit. Might have had to buy one or two or three choices. Want to make sure I'm Web3 wavy that day. Got to do a little online shopping, online therapy. How about you, Cheese?
Uh, yes. Well, yeah. Since Thursday, Friday, I spent some time uh, getting ready for. Friday we were meeting up to get ready for the Pitch Fest, which we're handling some things over there to make sure everything goes well with that. But then on Saturday, uh, I went to I had a workshop for Skylark. I was with Layla, and Layla and I were basically hosting a workshop on blockchain and AI. And um, uh, that workshop was pretty cool. There was a lot of people that were fundamentally just on the art side of things. So they wanted to learn more about the space and learn about how Skylark can help them as an artist for the community. So I had that, and then after that went to uh, I was 3D printing some stuff. I got some pictures to show you.
Dope.
I showed you some of it in person, but we got some more things that I printed out. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Won't spoil all that at the moment, but outside of that, just been uh, working on some Skylark things and making sure that as we go into promoting more heavily, all of our messages are cohesive and complete.
What about
What
you,
about
T?
you?
Man, a lot of friends and family, man, they've been tapping in with me this weekend. So, I had a lot of communication with a lot of friends and fam. So I'm happy about that, so they can see what's going on in my life. A lot of people don't know I made that move. You know what I'm saying? I bust that move out the 9 to 5 or 5 my job. You hear? So,
What a
I
feeling.
got, I got, I'm free, y'all. I'm free, y'all. But just working for yourself is actually harder than working for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it's a lot that you got to do to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So I got my hands full. I'm glad I'm busy. I got a lot of graphic design projects that I'm wrapping up. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to wrap up those graphic design projects. But this weekend I got two more graphic design projects. So your boy been super busy, so I'm happy about that. And now just gearing up for today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff was going on this past weekend. I was looking at the markets. The market's been going crazy, um, especially with Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about it. But we got our guy Trav. We're going to bring him up to the stage right quick just so he can say a couple of words. Trav, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Yo,
Yes,
can you guys
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
What's up, man? Hey, it's Travis Strayman, founder of Dapo Browser, the crypto browser, man, built with scam prevention and a browser really built for crypto searching, man, and just for exploring all crypto apps. I'm excited to be here, man. I wanted to be in person, man, but I'm glad that I got on spaces at least.
Absolutely, man. We love to have you, Trav, man. How's your weekend been going?
I mean, usually, I just watch sports and things like that. I mean, so it's been good. Some of my teams won, some of my teams have lost. So, but overall, it's a good weekend, and we preparing for this next weekend to really take this thing, man. Like, 10-5, baby. I feel like we in the playoffs for real. I forgot who I was talking to. Maybe it was Joe. But man, like we're in the playoffs, so it's time to really, strap down and get to it.
Yeah, pause. But
Strap down.
but no. I was talking to my back end dev yesterday, and he was like, you know, well, let's just re-adjourn on Monday and take the day off. I said, ain't no days off around here. I was like, but I give you the day off because you contracted. But as for me and mine, nah, we work every day. We take hours off. It's the fourth quarter,
That's right. Fourth quarter, man. Time to turn up, man. Time to turn up on people, man. It's 6 and 7 that's gonna be going head to head next week on the 14th. You know what I'm saying? So we locking everything down with that. We might have to call audible last minute, but regardless of what, once this pitch competition goes down, we all are friends here. We consider ourselves family. But once we hit that pitch fest stage, you know what I'm saying? We competition, man. We gonna be duking it out, for that bread, man. So may the best woman or man win. You know what I mean? So, but everybody got dope projects. So I'm looking forward to it. Real talk, I'd be nervous as hell just during the cohort pitching in front of a room with like 3 or 4 people. And mind you, on every Thursday, I do a news recap with a room full of people, and I'll be chilling. I'll be in my groove. But for some reason, the pressure of pitching, it is kind of difficult. It is, harder than I thought it was going to be. The 1 minute, that was difficult. The 2, I did all right this past week. The 5, I did all right on the 5. You know what I mean? So the pitch competition will have 5 minutes. Everybody will be able to go through their slides. Judges will be able to see what's going on and what people are presenting. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am, man. So that's another 2 weeks.
Hey, I'm going to put it like this. If you beat me, you earned it.
Yeah, man. We gonna see, man, because there's a lot of great buildings.
If you beat me, you earned it. I'm just saying.
It's
if you
a lot
beat
of great
me,
buildings.
you earned it. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Plus,
you beat me, you earned it. All right, I'm done.
nah, you supposed to be on your shit. You supposed to be on your shit. You know what I mean? Because we all battling out, and I know everybody that's into this pitch competition, 25 G's can go a long way, you know what I mean, to helping people scale their brand and their business. So yeah, y'all.
I got one more thing I want to say though.
Okay.
Man, congratulations to Van and Chris.
They launched. That's right.
That shit went live.
That's
and
right.
It is live, y'all. Y'all gotta check it out. If y'all don't know what we're talking about Liquid Agent.
That's
y'all
right.
gotta go check it out, man. This thing is. Once they told me about the lending, I hit the floor after that. I said, man. And I know they got other features coming. It's the first version. I know they got other features coming down the pipeline. So if y'all not turned up to that Liquid, if y'all don't got y'all no Liquid, what are y'all doing? Congratulations, Van and Chris and the whole Liquid team for getting it done, though.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So those are the guys, the individuals who founded Project Pod Labs, and they got the Liquid Agent popping, So and y'all can get that Liquid token too, man. So go ahead, tap into the bros, man. So check it out. We gotta set it off because we gotta talk about some of the stuff. Everybody who's watching us live on YouTube and Instagram, we gotta talk about what they can see on the table. So from right to left, you got the Singularity Sentience. That's my NFT project. Then you got, Atlanta Goods. Shout out to our guy Ant Mathis, with his company. He launching Defiant too. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be something dope to watch out for. Boom. Then we got the Doodles McCafe cups. Shout out to Doodles. Can't wait for my cereal box. That's gonna be on the table soon. I got one of 500, so I'm still on my NFT crypto DJ and shit when it comes to just getting exclusive shit, because that shit sold out fast. Boom. Shout out to NFT Energy Drink and our guys out there. You know what I mean? Get you turned up in this space with the energy drinks. We got Pudgy Penguins over there. Got the vinyl. And we got the inflatable behind us. You know what I'm saying? That's exclusive. You can't buy that in the store, y'all. Y'all can't buy that in the store. So, Luca, holla at your boy, man. Then we got the clips. We got to rep the culture, too, because this is part of what we do. We rep culture, man. So, you got clips over there, box set. Shout out to Cars and Clips, So, and Greg Mike is on the end. You know what I'm saying? So, we got a water bottle for Greg Mike. And yeah, man, so we gonna shout out, man. That's how we gonna set things off on the table to get the visual, the optics looking right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stan with Crypto too, y'all. So, y'all ready to get into it?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. So, check it out. Let's talk about what Coinbase is doing. So, this is a funny story. So, Coinbase has applied for a national trust company charter from the U.S. Office of Comptroller of the Currency, joining crypto firms like Paxos, BitGold, Ripple, and Circle in pursuing federal licenses. Okay, so Coinbase's VP of Institutional Product emphasized that the company is not seeking to become a bank, but wants clearer rules and regulatory trust to drive responsible growth. Okay, so I thought that was funny that he came out with the statement, because all of these other companies that I mentioned, they trying to launch a bank. Ripple trying to launch a bank. We talked about that. Circle trying to launch a bank. We talked about that. That's the reason why they're going for these federal licenses. So I thought it was a funny statement that the VP, came out with and said that, no, we're not trying to launch a bank. I call cap on that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I call cap is because remember when they launched their platform, their chain Base, and they said they wasn't gonna come out with a token? Well, guess what? They coming out with a token, right? All right. So they spun the block and they said, you know what? Don't watch what we say, watch what we do. So I get a feeling somewhere down the line, Coinbase will have their own bank. That's just my personal take on it. Why I don't see no other reason why they would get a federal license.
You mean JP Morgan, Coinbase?
Yes. You already know.
You mean JP Morgan wrapped in Coinbase?
Yeah, man. So I gotta ask my
You gonna call it
co-host.
J-Base?
I gotta ask my co-host. I already know it's gonna be a hot topic. NFTia, what's your thoughts on this?
Like you said, watch as they do and not what they say. Nobody, when they launched Base, thought that they weren't launching a Base token, though. Like, it's all about timing,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what we got to do to get that airdrop, because it's coming. Whether we got to do some more Zora, what platform we got to interact with, but it's definitely coming. And if I were you, I would interact on Base, NFA, with a few wallets. NFA, maybe do some wallet stacking, because it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it only makes sense for Base to become their own bank to me. They already have like all the infrastructure, and they've been leading like in terms of like the initially they were only essentially an exchange, and now they already have their own stock. They're lining up all their Lego pieces very strategically. And these last two runs, having a token and having their own bank, makes a ton of sense. So I can't say I didn't see it coming. Could you imagine, like, they seen how much money the DEXs were making and decentralized platforms were making. You have to capitalize off of that. You see how much money is in having your own stocks. And who knows, they might end up having a platform that have their own ETFs or they own indexes. Like you just don't know where base is going with this, but I know they want to hit every single shot, and they're strategically training and putting their team and their pieces together so that they can hit every single shot. And lastly, I'm gonna leave it at this. When was the last time you converted crypto into fiat? You know how hard they wax you on that process? You think they leaving that money on the table?
You talking about the transaction fee?
Man, it's coming.
Good point. Good take.
Yeah,
Cheese.
actually, that's that last point right there that Tia made is, I would say, that's probably like the top 5 reason, right, for them to do it, because every time you take money off of Coinbase and you put it back in your bank account, that's not money on Coinbase, right? That's a very good point from Tia, and I agree with everything else you said, but holistic, I want to make a jab real quick. Who here has access to the Base app?
I don't got access to the Base app.
Not the app.
Exactly. So where's this basis for everyone? Base app has very much been still in kind of this closed mode.
That's his 3rd time calling y'all out, Base.
Y'all on the clock.
Hey.
Right? Why isn't the Atlanta Blockchain Center have access to the Base app? That's all I'm going to say.
All these base builders.
Right? All these base builders that we build.
We got to throw some shots out. Where the
Right.
sounds at? Shots fired.
Where's our Base app access?
Drop the bomb on him. Who that Trav? I think Trav got the bomb
I
on
don't
him.
know who
That was Trav.
hilarious.
That was Trav. He got the sound effects. We needed that, Trav.
I was trying to find one like with gunshots on it, man. That worked kind of weak.
That was like a blip, like a little blip.
Yeah, that's funny, yeah.
Like a
8-bit gunshot.
Hey, by 2026, we gonna really need that access though, Base.
That's right.
Or I ain't gonna say who, but we got a lot of people that might be interested in making a diss record.
Yeah, I know some people that got access though.
Funny.
I know some people that got access though, but is this for me? It was just a matter of just highlighting that I still not very much a fan of how they rolled it out, and then to not have everybody have access to a point yet where they're now launching the token. It's still very much like it's kind of like these people have a head start on activity.
Absolutely.
To work towards that token.
They do.
Nothing like about it.
Yeah, I'll just say that. Yeah.
So do you don't think even if you're actively using Base Chain?
Oh yeah. Hopefully, for just doing activity on Base will get you tokens. But I'm talking about like I know they're looking at the Base app differently from the Base
Oh hell yeah!
blockchain. Yeah.
Trav want to throw some shots out.
Trav.
Nah, well, I think so. I definitely agree, man. I need to go ahead and just find somebody, man, and just hit up my niggas DMs for real on the slick. Cause honestly, yeah, cause and I don't know how. I think how like the invites work is like once you're in, I think you get like a certain amount of invites. But I know it has been closed source for a couple reasons. I think as far as the base airdrop, I sent like a list. I'm thinking like to Discord or somewhere, or maybe I didn't. But I sent that post from an Afro chick on base. She's like this like British girl that's in like the Olympics that does a lot of stuff like on chain on base. She made a pretty good list of like just apps out there, and I think that mixed in with like developers, I think it's definitely gonna be airdrop for like the developers, people who do like the buildathons. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think the culture on base is a little different from Coinbase, but it still has like that like Silicon Valley kind of closed source mindset still, which is kind of alarming. Which is a lot of problems that people have with it. But yeah, I mean, I need to start going and checking around to see if I can get one. You know what I'm saying, and share it out at an ABC.
Absolutely.
That's right. Good point, man. So yeah, man, you let us know if they come through, man. Hopefully They give one of us some access, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have some access to the app, man. You can't be bragging like Cheese said. Base supposed to be for everybody, man. You know? So you on the clock. Time ticking.
Well, let me just say, I got the app download and just waiting for access.
Okay. Waiting for access. That's right.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
That's right.
Me too.
That's right.
Just taking up memory.
All right, so you already know, man. We will monitor that situation and keep y'all posted. So let's talk about another interesting story. We haven't tapped into a global international story in a minute, but I thought this one was interesting. All right. So shout out to all my people from Nigeria. Shout out to all my people who, Yoruba people. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. But the Central Bank of Nigeria and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, are collaborating to create a clear and sustainable regulatory framework for digital currencies in Nigeria. So Nigeria was once a global hub for crypto trading, especially among young people, faced regulatory challenges in 2021 when the Central Bank of Nigeria banned banks from serving crypto exchanges due to money laundering and security concerns. All right. So the ban was lifted in December 2023, followed by new guidelines for banks to work with the virtual asset service providers. All right. So it's just interesting how United States, they jumped across the water to help get some kind of regulatory structure in place for Nigeria. In Nigeria has a huge economy out there, so I think the SEC, they have interest. I don't see why they would do this when we still haven't got full clarity here. The only thing we got is what the Genius Act for stable coins. That's the only thing we got going on over here. Right now, government shut down, so we can't even get clarity on the Clarity Act. You know what I mean? No pun intended. But I really feel like the U.S. has some kind of vested interest over in Nigeria for them to collaborate on crypto regulation. Like I said, when we still haven't got our ducks in a row over here. So now, the governor, right? The governor of the bank, right? He said at the Lagos Business School annual lecture, he emphasized the importance of coordinating regulation to protect investors and support crypto innovation in fintech and blockchain. All right, so that's what we've been trying to get over here. So my question to my listeners and my co-hosts: why do y'all think the SEC jumped across the pond? Because they didn't jump over there to the UK. We know how the UK is for crypto. So
Y'all,
I wanna know, what's your thoughts?
y'all know I love me some macro. So this is as clear as day. Obviously, everybody know the biggest opportunity with AI and blockchain is going to be in Africa. Mm-hmm. Period. Point blank. We know Nigeria is leading in crypto adoption. Mm-hmm. Out of all, how many countries in Africa? Like 52 or something.
Yeah, it's like 52.
Yeah.
Countries. Mm-hmm.
Number one in adoption. Mm-hmm. They're number two in adoption around the world outside of India. Mm. We know Nigeria has always been chummy with America in terms of African nations. That's why you got so many Nigerians here. They let them in. I scratch your back, you scratch mine a little bit. That's how they do them. But, so we already know that this is how this goes. And it behooves America to get it right there because there's so much upside in Nigerian and African just opportunity.
That's right.
Opportunity in general. And you already have like opposing countries that's like chucking up, not the deuces, the middle finger to all European nations and Western countries such as Burkina Faso. So you got to get in where you can fit in and do it immediately. And Nigeria, no knock to Nigerians, but their government, not the people, their government is known for being really chummy with and close with American politicians. Mm-hmm. So this makes perfect sense to me. And you look at countries like India, they leaning towards BRICS more.
Yep.
They not really effing with the US, and those are your biggest two emerging markets.
Good point. Good point.
So it only makes sense. I can't have number one. I gotta go for
Yeah,
number two.
You smoked that. You smoked that, Tia. That was a good point. That was a
Thank
good
You
point.
can't get number one. You gotta go for number two.
Mm-hmm.
No, facts. Yeah. Well, I think exactly what she's saying is like expansion overall for the U.S. to bridge into these other markets, but I overall wonder around like the fragmentation of the African, um, governments in playing different sides and matter, and really what is their overall stance as a unit, right? Is always something that we could see because if you look at Africa right now, it's still very much fragmented in the way that different countries have come in and help them, quote unquote, help them build, but really how much of that is helping them and not just, taking what they can out of the ecosystem and taking it back to the outside. So that's just something to be aware of, the fragmentation and any disagreements amongst other within the African nations themselves with these type of things happening. But overall, I think it's a good. These are good things for the expansion of the space and giving people in these ecosystems a lot more democratized opportunity to actually accessing the dollar, and then from there being able to pour that back into their communities.
Good point.
I just want to
Good
speak
point.
on the fragmentation side.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit of a, not opposing, but just a different view. Because Africa is fragmented. I think we look at Africa, we tend to kind of view it as a one whole, one nation, one whole, one country, when every continent is fragmented with a bunch of countries that lean in opposing directions. Whether it's Europe, whether it's Asia, whether it's the Americas, except for Australia, because it's, it's a couple little islands outside of, but you get what I'm saying in terms of continents. So I think you have to look at it like it's going to be fragmented, but having more unionized efforts would be better, like the European Union.
Yeah.
So-
Good point. Nah, those are both great points. Um, there are so many different issues going on in Africa right now, and just to see, just one country trying to get crypto regulation is a great start. Mainly because
I
of
agree.
Nigeria's, economy and, like Tia said, partnership with the U.S. Now, we're gonna see what other countries will follow in their footsteps because, like she said, these countries are so fragmented. I think the next country in Africa that might do something similar, in my guess, based on my reporting and journalism, I think it will be either Ethiopia or Egypt because they're both are very pro crypto. They're very crypto friendly in those countries. So it'll be interesting to see if the SEC teams up with these two countries. So Egypt, we watching. Ethiopia, we watching, y'all. So we're gonna tap in, keep our eyes on this. Great takes from both my co-hosts.
Right.
So let's talk about. See, we talked about airdrops, right? We like talking about airdrops around here. Airdrops is when you participate on a chain early, whether you might buy an NFT early, or you might just be building on a chain early. Just activity on these chains, qualify you for airdrops, depending on what you're doing. So I got one of my first airdrops from Pengu, just from my activity on the Solana chain. I didn't own any Pudgy Penguin items or anything digitally, but just from my activity on Phantom, I got an airdrop. You know what I mean? It was like $200, worth of Pengu. But people have been waiting for MetaMask to get their shit together and launch a token. Now, some people were thinking like there was gonna be like a Foxy token, but They switched plans on us. Now, look like MetaMask is about to drop 30 M's. 30, excuse me, yes, $30 million. That's 30 M's in the Linea token. All right, so that's going to be rewards to their community. So let's get into it. All right, so Consensus is also the company behind CoinDesk. Did y'all know that? Yeah. So for those that didn't know, CoinDesk is one of the biggest Web3 news platforms out there. They got about 22 investors backing them, and Consensus is one of them. All right. So MetaMask, right? That's the Web3 wallet. All right, an ETH wallet. They have launched what they call one of the largest on-chain reward programs ever, aimed at regularly rewarding its community. All right, the program includes referral bonuses, MUSD, which is MetaMask stablecoin, MUSD. All right, incentives, partner rewards, and exclusive token access with special perks for long-time users, as Consensus hints at a future MetaMask token. You see, there it goes again. All right. Season 1 rewards will center around Linea tokens from Consensus Ethereum Layer 2 network, which recently launched via a $9.4 billion token airdrop. All right. So the initiative also features MetaMask's new MUSD stablecoin issued by Stripe on Bridge, right? Though it's not yield bearing, so I thought that was kind of whack. They got a stablecoin that you can't even get any yield off of, but they still talking like they're gonna drop a MetaMask token. So not only are they dropping, $30 million in rewards to their loyal users of MetaMask, but eventually they're gonna drop a MetaMask token. So I gotta ask my co-host, when was the last time you did any transactions on MetaMask? And at the same time, when do you think they are finally gonna drop this MetaMask token? Because they've been talking about this forever. So I gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, it just took me back. I just did about 5 transactions over the weekend on MetaMask.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, because I be on MetaMask base now, so.
Got you.
So, and plus I just sent some money over to my quant for the first time on base.
Dope.
Just funded my quant today on base, a little couple dollars just to see how the process go.
Dope.
Alpha. But this is so, and it looks like it's that's whack. We not getting a MetaMask coin, right? We gonna get some Linea. I just forgot that Swift is launching their platform on Linea. This is not financial advice. I'm asking ChatGPT right now what's going on with this Linea stuff, because something we don't really hear about Linea like that, right? Linea.
What you thinking?
Man, they're moving in stealth, but they are playing with some heavy hitters. And where there is smoke, there is typically fire.
That's right.
And I got a feeling Linea about to be on fire.
Oh, good take. That was a good point, bringing up, what Swift is doing. They building on Linea too. Everybody thought it was gonna be Ripple. Linea. Jeez.
Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, it's interesting that they're doing this on Linea. We talked about that already. I think the bigger conversation around the $30 million, right, in Linea token rewards, I think that may be fuel to validate the need for the MetaMask token, right?
Good point. Good point.
They're rumoring these things, but their whole ecosystem is connected. So, like the mask token could be slow rolled out to people in the forms of a reward token for utilizing the MetaMask app, right? And so, in essence, that's the value of Linea at their, and because it is their blockchain, right? And I think when it comes down to the Swift thing, um, when it comes down to the Swift thing, yeah, they're doing this test now on Linear because of the ZK proofs and the privacy there. But at the end of the day, I still think it comes down to um, partnership and penetration. They may they may stick to the initial rumor of the partnership, which was, Swift is supposed to be on ISO 222 tokens, or I don't know if they change that decision. I feel like sometimes since some of these companies have actually since a lot of these regulations or these rules have are now being adopted, we're kind of like in this new cowboy era, or this new Wild Wild West era, where it's like people made promises to one another before they got out. Let me not say cowboy. Maybe it's like when when people are in jail.
Oh damn!
And we like, yo, when you get out, I'm gonna get out too. And when we get out, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And when they get out, they don't do none of that shit.
Damn.
Because they finally feel their own. They start feeling comfortable in their own shoes, and then they start feeling like, oh, I actually don't need to work with you. I should probably be doing this myself. I can cut you out the equation. And when the banks start moving like that, because they get the green light, they're getting the green light to act like crypto companies. They don't need the crypto companies. So it's gonna be interesting. And then the crypto companies gonna be like, well, we don't need you. We're gonna become you.
That's right.
So I just think it's interesting.
So you think it's gonna be some kind of essentially banking wars between Web2 and Web3 companies, or
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
hey.
a good point. That's a good point, because all of these companies now, they're gonna be launching stable coins. I can see companies like Amazon, Google, launching their own stable coins. So y'all want to talk about another Web2 company, a tech company that partnered up with
I have one more.
Coinbase? Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
No. I just had one more fact to just pull up about Linear. Like, so, y'all know we always giving alpha. One thing you got to really pay attention to is that Linear is really like they launched September 12th. They're a baby, and they only have a $400 million market cap.
That's right.
Fully diluted though, they're $2 billion. That mean they got some money behind them, man. They a mono basically, but less than a mono. Their market their token price is down 50%.
Tell the people what the price of the token is right now.
The price of the token is 2 cents.
That's right.
The peak has been 3.7 or 3.6, something like that. 3. Listen, I don't know what's going on with this Linear thing, but the signs is definitely saying where there is smoke, there is fire.
That's
Keep
right.
your eyes open and stay 10 toes down. This one might take you on a ride.
Not financial advice. Do your own research. You already know how we do. Trav. Go ahead, Trav.
Nah, yeah. When I was looking at it, I was looking at like the token unlocks, and if you go on like CoinMarketCap, it's interesting how you see they have different distributions, and they have one for future user airdrops that hasn't even been unlocked yet. That's going to be unlocking on looks like November 1st. So it's like a month from now, pretty much. They're going to have
That.
right. So it's it's so interesting to see how this is possibly play out, and it's less than a month old, man. So. NFTia, Dior.
That's right. So, right now, Tia got the chart up. I'm looking at it, and it's down
40% from all time high.
40% from its all-time high. All right, its all-time high was about 4 cents, 4.5 cents. So, and its market cap is what, 400 million.
And they gonna drop 10% on us.
Just know that when that airdrop does come, there's gonna be a sell off too. But at the same time, because what she mentioned, Swift, their partnership, man, listen, we gonna keep our eyes on this, and y'all make sure y'all have some activity, on MetaMask, because, I'll be on base. I got most of my NFTs literally last year I bought was on base, so hopefully that qualifies too. You know what I'm saying? So we will see. We will see. We will see. So speaking of base, y'all want to talk about Team Samsung? What up, Team Samsung? What up? We on a Samsung phone right now. Everybody was shitting on me because I be missing the group chats. I had to jump in through my iPad. See, look, man. I got an iPad and I got a Galaxy phone. I'm Team Samsung. All right. I love Samsung phones. I just like, the user experience on it. I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I held it down with Team Samsung because Samsung has expanded its partnership with Coinbase to make crypto investing easier for its 75 million US Galaxy users. Yo, check this out, Apple. They stepped on your rollout. Whatever you was planning, you fucked up. Apple, you dropped the ball because y'all got way more phones in the world and y'all let Galaxy, Samsung beat y'all to the punch. All right? Now, through Samsung Wallet and Samsung Pay, users can now buy cryptocurrency directly within the Coinbase app. The collaboration includes perks like a free 3-month Coinbase One subscription. All right, so that's zero trading fees on select assets, enhanced staking rewards, and partner discounts, plus a $25 credit for new traders after their first transaction. All right, so they incentivizing you with $25 to do some trades and transactions. Okay, Samsung says the move is part of its ongoing effort to enhance Galaxy users' digital finance experience with plans for global expansion ahead. All right, so Coinbase stock shot up about 20% over the week to about $367. I'm gonna just tell y'all like this, y'all. I know there's a lot of iPhone users out here. Everybody at ABC pretty much got an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Tia, she used to be Team Samsung.
Hold on.
Hold on. You still got your Samsung?
Listen. Go ahead and finish rocking the mic. I got you. Go ahead.
It's just the fact that I'm now, even though I've been using, crypto, but just being able to tell some of my other friends and family who got a Samsung device how easy it is just to do transactions with crypto on Coinbase now because Samsung Pay is partnered up with Coinbase. So this is going to be the platform. I'm going to be telling my people who got the Samsung like, yo, Coinbase, man, y'all rocking. Coinbase really been, y'all been kicking ass and taking names. I can't even lie, man. You know what I'm saying? From Brian Armstrong putting pressure on the banks, talking about like, yo, we just talked about it last week. They don't want us to gain any yield off of stable coins. You know what I'm saying? So now, with this, I really feel like Coinbase is like, yo, man, we gonna make this easy for the regular person to buy crypto and have access. Samsung, what up, Samsung? Team Samsung, what up? All right. So Tia, I gotta ask because you went from Samsung to Apple, and I don't know if you still got a Samsung device floating around, but tell me, what's your thoughts on this?
All right. So first of all, I use both phones on a daily basis.
Okay.
So
You on your Kevin Gates. You on your Kevin Gates.
So I asked ChatGPT, what do you call that? They said I am bi-OS-ual.
Oh my God. Yo, bio
S-ual.
Yo, that's wild, yo.
iOS-ual or something.
Two operating systems, okay? Two operating systems. Okay, that's funny.
So I go both ways.
Yo. Yo.
All right, y'all. We're going to pause that one. That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
Oh, you ain't got to pause that one. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
That's funny. Yeah.
But no.
That's a new one.
No, that was a good joke. But no, I think it was like the Galaxy 20 or 19 where Samsung first integrated crypto wallets, and they were hidden in their phones. So Samsung been putting in wallets in their phones even well before Apple. So they were in front of the curve. This was like 2019,
Got you.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Those devices even then started integrating crypto wallets, but they were hidden. It wasn't like, oh, you go in here, but just know that like even I think I got like a 23, whatever, and I have probably like a 20 in my drawer.
Mm-hmm.
They have crypto wallets in them. So I look at it more as a base integrating with better hardware system, because they know Samsung they have the better hardware versus Apple has the better user experience, because it's just because of its network. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so that's why I look at it that way. But I'm all about that bass right now because they killing it.
That's right. Good take.
You say I'm all about that bass, that treble.
That cheese with the bars. Yeah, that's funny.
Actually, this is speaking of bars. This is just a Jay-Z play, in my opinion.
What you mean?
When Jay-Z dropped Magna Carta Holy Grail.
Oh, it was built in the Samsung phone. You're right.
He partnered with Samsung.
Mm-hmm. He definitely did. I remember that.
And when the album finally came out, he already sold.
He went platinum.
He was already platinum. So
it's crazy.
These are the same tactics here, right? Coinbase wants to expand globally. Right now, it's okay to, like Tia says, they've been had wads.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's okay, because now they want to expand into the Korea market. And the timing of this is very on time, because last week was Korea Blockchain Week.
Yep.
So
cooking, y'all.
So Korea, it's all on time. It's all on time.
Cooked.
Man, listen, you smoked that, man. So yeah, I didn't know they had built-in wireless going back to 2019, y'all, 2020. So yeah, shout out to Team Samsung, man. I'm happy for that, man. So now y'all can tell your friends in Finley, if they got a Samsung device, it's easy to buy the crypto on Coinbase using
Samsung make up 25% of Korea's economy.
I didn't know that.
I read that in that AI book.
Dope. What book was that? You want to shout that book
They started off making like, what's the name of that book? The silver book. Hold on, wait. Matter of fact, I'll flash it. My book bag right there. It's right there.
Yeah, we in real time. Shout out to everybody who's watching us live on YouTube. Everybody watching us live on Instagram.
Yeah, the coming wave. Yeah, right
because we showing y'all right here.
Coming wave.
Time. There's some alpha right here. It's an AI book. Who's the author?
The coming wave.
Shout him out.
Mustafa
Suleyman.
Suleyman.
Okay.
He's the CEO of Microsoft AI. But they talk about Samsung in this book and how they leveled up. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shout out.
We got to give them a big shout out. You know what I'm saying? The coming
25%.
wave.
25%.
I gotta start reading my copy.
Yeah, I've been just listening to the audiobook and skimming the pages. But
now, speaking of books, shout out to our guy, Larry Moore, for Crypto A to Z. Y'all can buy that on Amazon. That's a good book for anybody who's been in this space, whether you're a vet or you're a noob, and you just want to catch up on the latest terminology, what's going on in crypto space. Go to Amazon, so you'll be able to find the book, Crypto A to Z. I know we got one floating around here, so I want to shout them out. We'll put it on the table. But because we was talking about crypto on the West Coast, because my boy Larry Moore is on the West Coast. So the next story is just about California. Shout out to all of our people from California. Shout out to Miss Nifty. You know what I mean? Carrie out there holding down Stand with Crypto, the California chapter.
For sure.
All right. So this last story that we're going to talk about, I really like this story. This story is pretty dope, yo. I can't even lie. Shout out to all my NFT collectors, all right? I'm a big fan of NFTs. That's how I got in this space, because I'm a graphic designer. So it seems like a federal court in California has ruled that Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs are not securities. Let's give a round of applause for that, all right? All right? So this is dismissing a long-running class action lawsuit. Thank you for that, Chad. Thank you for that. You know what I mean? So this is dismissing a long-running class action lawsuit against Yuga Labs and clarifying one of the biggest legal questions in the NFT industry, okay? So the judge on the case determined that Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs failed to meet the Howey test for securities because there was no common enterprise linking NFT holder profits to Yuga Lab business operations. The court emphasized that NFTs were sold on third-party platforms like OpenSea and Coinbase, not directly by Yuga Labs, and the company's royalties from resales did not tie to its success to investor gains. Okay, so the decision contrasts with earlier cases involving NBA Top Shots and DraftKings NFTs, where issuers had more direct control over marketplaces. Okay, so that was the biggest difference. All right, because I actually got NBA Top Shots and DraftKings NFTs, and they both lost those lawsuits. And that's why some of those NFTs I have, they took a hit. A lot. I ain't gonna lie. Like probably 70 to 80% of my NFTs took a hit. But I still got some that's still holding strong. That's making up the difference for some of them. So for all of my NFT collectors and creators, and for my co-hosts, I gotta ask y'all, how do you feel about finally one of the biggest NFT projects, actually the second biggest, because they've been going back and forth with Pudgy Penguins. CryptoPunks is number one. But number two, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Yuga Labs. They beat this lawsuit. How do y'all feel about NFTs not being deemed securities?
Yeah, I think it's as monumental for NFTs as it was for when Ripple was able to beat the SEC as well, because I think so many people mistake NFTs with just little JPEGs on chain that are art pieces, but NFTs are going to shape so many industries fundamentally, and in a real tokenizing real world things and bringing things on chain, and among other things, whether it's music, art, physical items, like it's NFTs is so much bigger than what meets the eye. And so this win was like one step for, what was it? One step for something, and one step for Moron Mountain or whatever. You remember on Space Jam? It's huge.
You talking about Space Jam?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about
I forget
Neil,
the bar. I was trying
Armstrong.
no, I was talking about Space
I
Jam, man.
thought
Not
you
no
was talking
damn
about
Neil
the
Armstrong.
moon landing.
Yeah, me too,
No,
man. Moon landing was fake too, but
Nah.
we didn't go
Small
there.
step for human and one giant step for mankind.
Yeah, the one step for XRP and crypto, one large step for NFTs, man. That's how we looking at it. Like that's a huge thing in my Donald Trump voice with my Donald Trump hands. Like huge. This is huge. Because now innovation is going to happen at a much more rapid pace once people know that they ain't got nothing to fear. And my homegirl Yaya, she always be telling me, like, when I'm out here in the crypto space just being too reckless, she'd just be like, Tia, you out here butt naked. Go put some clothes on. And the NFT space is going to get so wild again. I know everybody thinking it's done, but it's going to get so wild again that, it's going to be a lot of people out here butt naked. So,
Super
pause.
Super fast pause. Nah, I mean, so overall, like Tia said, there's gonna be a second coming, and my only thing is, like, though, I feel like second coming, the way I look at second coming sometimes is that it's unfortunate to those who got burnt, because they don't know, they don't get this news. They don't get this news, and I had to talk to somebody yesterday about NFTs. So I was talking about Web3. I was doing a workshop, and he asked me about NFTs, and he said, "Oh, I don't really like NFTs. I got burnt, and all the platforms were taking advantage of the artists that put their work up." And I was like, "Yeah, that's not false. I can see how very much you can think that, and then want to behoove yourself to say stuff like, well, the platforms are going to continue to cannibalize the opportunity," and that is exactly what happens, and what makes it continue to happen is times like this where those that are the platforms are those that are aware, and those that decide to pay attention, and those that decide to build. We build we become platforms. We aware of the regulations and stuff that are changing. So I think my advice to him was, if you don't want to be a consumer, see, because the thing is about this is that I still look at creators as consumers. Not all the way creators, not all the way 100%, but like the way the platforms take advantage of creators sometimes, they get treated like consumers. Like the artists that put their music on Spotify, they get treated like consumers.
I see your point.
Because they don't get ownership of their assets. And that, from that regards, we should always look to build our own, right? Or at least own own your distribution. Right? So that was my point to him. Like, figure out how to own your distribution. And that's what this space gives you access to. So when you ignore that and you shut down the entire space, and then when news like this comes back up and you're not paying attention, you literally end up starting from zero now, because the next crypto wave, next NFT wave, this thing goes booming, and you're looking to put your art back on those same platforms. You're going to feel like you got taken advantage of again, because you're only jumping on the wave. You ain't spend the time to build your own platforms.
Good point.
But isn't that like how growth naturally happens? Like you said, get burnt. I ain't gonna use the get burnt analogy.
They call it getting burnt. They say,
Yeah, I know, but I ain't gonna use that. But
that's why I said too.
Yeah. But like,
you ride a bike, you fall down, you get back up.
Yeah, that's just how some people are always going to be scared to get back up. I mean, look how many people who missed out on millions because they got quote unquote burnt early on in the crypto space, and now they're missing out. I met a guy at the Google event. Shout out to Google, amazing event. I met a guy there, and he was telling me, no, I only stick to T-bills, the volatility. I was in Bitcoin, and I lost so much money. And he was in like 2016.
Oh man.
And he haven't touched it again. I said, that's the fastest. As I'm trying to tell him, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just stick to my T-bills. Well, guess what? You done missed out on probably some millions, depending on how much you was investing. 2016, because you scared to get burnt again. I know a lot of men that got burnt, but that ain't stopped them from
popping off
different
again.
strokes. Different strokes for different folks. Different strokes.
How many chances you gonna make?
Different strokes for different folks. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, that's funny as shit.
No risk, no reward.
Some men don't want to get burnt again.
Alright, I'm clowning today. Let me chill, man.
Yo, that's funny as hell. Man,
I'm
listen.
calm down.
Yo, you ain't lying about that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't lying about that. Word up. That's funny as hell. So just know that, man, when it comes down to it, do your research on any NFT project that you get into. You know what I'm saying? You already know that right now we have the most lenient government right now on crypto. Like our government, everybody in Trump's cabinet is super pro crypto. We got a crypto AI czar. We got crypto council. We got so much shit going on. The SEC has set up the crypto council. Like this is monumental. We never seen things like this in a cycle before. From my research, we have never hit a new all-time high before the halving. That happened. We never had a pro crypto government, during a bull cycle. Like this is crazy. So, we've had individuals like Marlon. Shout out to the bar chef. He mentioned that, this might be a super cycle just because of all of those factors. So you don't want to miss out on whether it's your favorite blockchain or your favorite NFT project. Just have conviction. Hell, not financial advice, but
Absolutely.
Double down on certain things if you feel like it's been working for you in this space. Shit, that's what it's about. So I know I've still been buying some NFTs off of Vivi, even though I know some of my Vivi NFTs have taken a hit. That shit don't discourage me because I already know. Like, oh yeah, speaking of Vivi, yo Vivi, man, There's this drop, this comic that's coming. All right, Mass Appeal and Marvel. VV already got the partnership with Marvel for their digital comic books, right? At New York Comic Con, there's gonna be a Mass Appeal / Marvel comic book featuring Nas, Big L,
Ooh.
De La Soul, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Mobb Deep,
Wow.
and Slick Rick. Yo, listen, man. There's only 1,000 of these physical comic books.
Dang.
Nas is gonna be at New York Comic Con now. Here's the wild shit. I wish Cash and Blue was on here, cause man, if Cash and Blue was here and everything was still on schedule, I would have been up there, literally the first one in line for that comic book, because Vivi's gonna be there, and so is Nas. Okay, like Nas is my favorite rapper, and Vivi is my favorite NFT platform. I would have had to been there on the strength of that, and I would have got that fucking comic book signed by Nas. Then I would have went right over to the Vivi platform in booth and say, "Yo, check this out. I don't know how y'all didn't release this, because sometimes they. All right, let me give them some grace. Sometimes they do surprise us during these Comic Cons, and they release exclusive NFT drops, and they don't tell anybody what they releasing. They've done that before. So I'm hoping, I'm praying, Vivi does just that. Don't say anything about it, but the day of, I'm checking, because y'all drop at 11 o'clock. Y'all do all y'all comic book drops at 11 o'clock in the morning.
It's out for y'all.
I'm going to be on the Vivi app at 10:30 in the morning, right? On 10:10, because this one is comic drops at 10:10. And if Vivi does a secret drop, I guarantee you they probably gonna have less than 1,000, because it's only 1,000 physical ones. They're probably gonna have only 500. If they have 500, I'm gonna make sure I get one of these comic books, because this is history. This is blending, literally. If this happens, this is blending hip hop, culture, because this is what we are. We're culture. Okay, this was missing from your CoinDesk, your Decrypts, and all your other major crypto platforms. Yeah, y'all got your news broadcast and all of that, cool, but y'all don't deal with the culture. We deal with culture. Matter of fact, shout out to Jay Rich, because I clipped up that video. That video is about to drop. You know what I'm saying? That interview was fire. But we talking culture here. With those icons in hip hop being mentioned in a comic book, and if VV don't be a part of this drop, man, y'all missing out on history. And if anybody is going to New York Comic Con, please let me know. Please let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because yo, listen, man, I throw you some extra change if you get that comic book for me, man, because I want that comic book badder than a motherfucker, yo. So when it comes down to it, I'm not discouraged on buying NFTs. All right, like I said, even I'll say 75% of my VV NFTs took a hit, but guess what? I still got the Miles Morales comic book I paid $7 for, and it's still worth about $900. And I've been holding on to that. Now, if I would have sold that at the peak of the bull market 4 years ago, I would have got 9 bands off of this one fucking comic book. You know what I'm saying? So I round tripped it, but I'm still holding on to it. So that is my word of advice. If you're in this space and you're trying to get into the NFT game, look at the major platforms like VV. Look at the major platforms like OpenSea, of course. You can still go on Magic Eden. Magic Eden got a lot of dope NFTs on there. Even if you're into Bitcoin ordinals, copy some ordinals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What they got? Bitmaps out there. That's the stuff that Wine and Slice be getting. The bitmaps, man. Get you some of those, man. So, but now, Trav, man, what's your thoughts on this? Floor's yours, brother.
I was heavy into comic books, man. I still got a bunch of them, just laying around, man. But I haven't really. I feel like I've kind of missed a lot of great drops, man. So I definitely want to go in and get that VV one though. it's like that'd be crazy. Like that honestly, cause like my mama is a big fan, like out of my family, cause we're just on the East Coast and Midwest. So man, like I mean, if anything, that'd be a great Christmas gift. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be a great thing just to have.
Birthday gift.
Oh yeah, yeah. See,
I see. For real, like that, and I feel like NFTs, like the real, like this whole case, and then everything with like Pengu, like it's like these are things that you leave for like generational wealth, bro. Like you leave this in like trust, you know what I'm saying? So I'm all for it.
you know what, Trav? That's a good point. Because the same way, like OpenSea, they have like their own NFT treasury. And over the past like couple of weeks, they've been posting some of their rarest NFTs. They got a CryptoPunk in there, of course. They got a Pengu, a Pudgy Penguin. They got a Bored Ape. They got several top tier and blue chip NFTs in their treasury. You know what I'm saying? So just as an individual, we can actually do the same thing. Have some dope NFTs, and then get a loan off of it. You don't even gotta sell it. You know what I'm saying? So these are some of the ways you can leverage, DeFi, even when it comes to like NFTs. And another great case, a good example. And Cheese, you remember the name of that company? It was what, the Dogecoin Foundation. They had the original Dogecoin photo that they actually tokenized and made that into an NFT. They right. They fractionalized it. That same image, I don't know how much they paid for the rights for that image, but once they bought it, the Doge Foundation, they tokenized it. So now you can actually own a portion, of the original Doge photo. So I feel like, if people have like a rare NFT and they might have like 5 or 6 Bored Apes or CryptoPunks. How about fractionalizing one? You know what I mean? Make 10,000, you know, small different tokens of that NFT, and then you'll be able to have people to be able to own a piece of history from one of these small NFTs.
Do you remember the platform Well? Any of you guys?
Well, how do you
Well.
spell that?
Like well.
Oh, like the fish.
Yeah. So what well was, it was essentially,
W.
it was well. Well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so well, it's a crypto project, but what it is, because I was having a hard time and keeping up with NFTs. So what I would do is just buy pieces of well, because they would buy some of the rarest NFTs, and they would fractionalize them, and you can own a piece of their collection.
Oh, that's smart. So they were doing exactly what I was talking about, basically.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. So we're gonna have Tia do some research to try to locate this particular platform because I'm interested in that.
I gotta find
And
it out.
and just know, also, as far as speaking of NFTs, shout out to Doodles again. Shout out to Doodles because they have this Fruit Loops box, right? Now, how many people bought like a Wheaties box with like Jordan or a famous athlete on it, like Tiger Woods? People actually collect that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, those boxes had cereal in it.
There you go.
I just bought a $50 cereal box with no cereal in it. You know what I'm saying? But the illest part, yeah, that's crazy, right? That's crazy, right?
We laughing at you.
But here's the illest part. Because I bought this empty box, it's a real life flex that y'all gonna see on the table. But I'm gonna get airdrop. I'm gonna get an NFT. Who else knows what they're gonna tie in with this? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, this is gonna be future utility. So I still got conviction in this space. I bought an empty cereal box with no cereal in it just because of the artwork. The artwork by Burnt Toast and the Doodles. That's the reason why I bought it. You see what I'm saying? I'm a true.
That's a crazy bar.
That's a degen. That's a true definition of a degen. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, man. I have that much conviction that I'm buying a cereal box with no cereal. Because I know what the future holds for that. And Speaking of being shipped out this week, Cheese, you been keeping up with your email? Because Solana Play, y'all know about the Solana Play? That's the first Solana handheld gaming device.
Have you gotten a shipping notification?
I didn't get my shipping notification yet, neither.
I got some shipping notification from this random company. I don't know. But hopefully that's it. But we'll see.
Okay. So, me and Cheese, we ordered the Solana Play device, which is the very first handheld gaming device. It look like a Game Boy. They're gonna have games built in the actual device, and it's gonna have a built-in hardware wallet. You know, everybody who bought this device, even if you got one without a skin, because they got different meme coin skins, and if you held certain Solana NFTs that wasn't even wrapped with that gaming skin, you getting airdrop play tokens. So these are things that you can do in this space, whether it's physical items, whether it's the devices. These are some of the things that, you know, if you got a couple of dollars and if you got some conviction, go ahead and buy you some of these devices, you know, because not only will the people get airdrop play, but if you actually have your Solana Play device wrapped as a bonk Solana Play, that's one wrap. They had Giga Chad, they had Jupiter. These are some of the wraps. They had a Pengu. Shout out to Pudgy Penguins. I got the Pudgy Penguins wrap. You know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get a Pengu airdrop along with the Play airdrop. So you know, these are just ways that you can just earn crypto in this space. You don't always have to just buy it and invest it. You can actually earn it just doing plays like this. So,
Yeah, no, this shit.
so NFTia.
Yeah, no, they on the ground now. They used to have a lot of quality NFTs in the early 2000s. It looks like they probably cheated on their community.
Cool. Pause.
Pause.
all
Oh
over the
man,
place.
cheating on the community.
I got that
nuts.
from Ahmad.
I know.
I
But
got that from Ahmed, man, and it's stuck. Now you know, but
Alright.
y'all rather
Good
rug
talk.
their community. But this is just one example of how you can own an NFT collection, and once it becomes super valuable in the future, you can tokenize it and like index it essentially. But no, this project is dead.
Damn. Well, y'all can't use Whale to do any loans on your NFTs, but also you can reverse engineer this as well. Logan Paul, he was one of the first people I saw tokenize a Pokemon card. He had like a rare Charizard card or whatever. He tokenized it and he fractionalized it as well. So some of his followers and fan base, they actually own a piece of a rare Pokemon card. I think he wore it on a chain in one of his fights. You know what I'm saying? So Pokemon cards being tokenized right now is one of the hottest things that's happening right now. So you guys, even if you're not into NFTs, you might just be into real world collectibles. If you collect certain memorabilia from different industries, whether it's sports or, you know, comic books or whatever, or Pokemon, just know that you can tokenize these real world assets. And not only that, if you have a community, they can buy into those tokens once you fractionalize it. So the community can own a piece of a rare NFT or a rare physical item. So hell yeah, if I come across like a rookie card of LeBron James or something like that, I'll tokenize that shit, fractionalize that, and allow people to, you know, own pieces of that card, man, because that's part of history, man. So these are ways you can capitalize in this space, y'all. So
My niece got his Pee Wee football T-shirt.
Really?
You know,
That's
we
right. You from
Akron.
Ohio? That's
We
right.
from Akron, so she cheered. We both cheered for LeBron, but he like the year after I cheered for him, then she cheered for him because it's kind of like a year in between. And so her 18 cheerleading shirt, they were undefeated, unscored on the entire season at like 9 or 10U. And she still has the original shirt with everybody, and a lot of his Fab Five members were on that football team too. So
Yo.
I ain't gonna give y'all my niece's number because
Nah,
I'm
nah,
a
nah,
hella
nah, nah,
valuable.
nah, nah. I would put that in the frame, tokenize that joint. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. So now you got, a digital item, y'all. So yeah, just be on the lookout, y'all, for any devices that are released, whether it's cell phones. Um, don't Solana got not Solana. Swee got a device. Play
Sweet
Swee,
play.
right? Swee
Yeah,
Play.
it dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out.
So these are devices that you can get, play to earn. There's NFTs that you can collect in these games. It'll be worth a lot, even if you don't have a device. Like we talked about the bookstore gallery, you can download the Pudgy Penguins game. You know, Tia, she came up here a couple of weeks ago. She downloaded the game right then and there. Now, I don't know how active she been on it, but if you've been playing that game, just play to earn. There's characters on there that's worth like $800 if you collect these characters. So these are just ways that you can take advantage of the gaming industry. You got NFL rivals, you got FIFA rivals, you got NBA Top Shots, which is all highlights of your favorite athletes that you can buy, sell, and trade. These are digital collectibles. So these are ways that you can actually, collect your favorite memorabilia from your favorite industries and make money in Web3. Because that's what it's about. It's about making money, y'all. So,
I want to say couple
Cheese, go
more
ahead,
things.
Cheese, go ahead, go ahead.
So, uh, just to follow up on the note of fractionalization, I think it's going to be interesting, especially if we ever see the ERC 404 token standard take off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how that can be utilized to do some interesting things. Like, think about the fact that um, if I fractionalize $10, right, and give everybody a asset, right, basically like a stock asset,
Mm-hmm.
saying that each of you can pay me for this asset, which is $1 each. I've now backed this fractionalized version of my $10
Mm-hmm.
by fragmented 10 stock shares, and everybody can get their NFT version of that, and you know they can earn back the NFT. They can trade the NFT. They can trade out the NFT back for their dollar plus more at any time, right? As long as the assumption is that the base. It's kind of like how you can go between an ordinal.
Mm-hmm.
An ordinal can go between the Bitcoin price and the actual price that it was initially sold for from an artistic
That's
standpoint.
right.
I think those type of economics are going to get interesting, and I've been thinking about uh, like assets and value recently, and I think on-chain bonds are going to be interesting
Mm.
because the bond market is considered the safest place, was considered, you know, the safest place to put your money because you always get your capital back. But um, think about NFTs where you can always get your capital back. Now, that's kind of what I'm saying.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Now, it also just reminds me of how Solana, they're now tokenizing stocks. You know what I'm saying? So everything is going to be tokenized. According to Larry Fink, that's CEO of BlackRock. And BlackRock, they're like the largest, financial institution in the world, man, with trillions of dollars under asset management. Trav, you got your hand up. The floor is yours, brother.
Yo, no, yeah, I was thinking of like NFTs in gaming. I was on a space earlier this week, and they were talking about that, and just kind of figuring out like, whether if like some of the chains want to if some of the games want to make their own chains, right? And that's kind of towards like the Avalanche play
Mm-hmm.
that we see happening, and then you also have like with like the NFTs, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Like, I want to ask you, like, is the play is that for 18 and up, or is it for kids too?
I don't think they had an age restriction. Cheese, did you see an age restriction on the play, Solana? Because I didn't. I don't
No,
think they got any
no,
racy,
Yeah.
raunchy games on there.
no. There was,
Not so. Like the reason why that I brought that up is like a lot of people in the gaming space are kind of like want to figure out like the regulation around like tokenomics, right? And when you're kind of given, I mean, the NFTs may not be viewed as like assets, but like when you're actually giving out like tokens and things like that, and these become tradable, making money. I think that's where I see. I believe that I believe that we're in a right government where that'll be cleared up pretty fast. Like if it does happen, but it's just a thought that I know a lot of people are trying to kind of think about.
Now that's a good concern if you're a developer in this space and you're trying to build a game on chain and you're gonna have in-game assets that's gonna be tokenized. That's a legitimate concern. So yeah, with this last story, saying that the SEC is not considering NFT securities, especially the board ape. I think it'll give more developers, in the gaming space, some comfort. So hopefully, matter of fact, we gotta get Levi up here. We gotta get Levi for Campini up here, man. We gotta get his thoughts because he's been building Web3 games in this space for a minute, man. So and he's an avid user of Web3 games. I believe his game that he liked playing was Axie Infinity. I believe he did pretty well playing that game too. So yeah, man. Hey, we're gonna try to reach out to our guy, man, Levi with Campini, see how he's doing, seeing how Campini is coming along, that Web3 game right there. And we live on Instagram, we live on YouTube. Obviously, we live on Twitter. So I'm gonna give a quick shout out to everybody who tapped in today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guy Trav, he on the stage. You know what I mean? The Leo, Dodge Leonian, that's a new one. Peace to you, man, for tapping in, man. Peace to my guy Van. Peace to Van, man, and Project Pod Labs, man, and Liquid Agent, man. Shout out to our guy Easy Money Esquire. Shout out to Aunt Mathis, our president of the Georgia chapter of Stand with Crypto. You know what I mean? Shout out to the wonderful crypto, our guy E3. Shout out to our guy B Wise. Shout out to Lightning Forge Gaming. Shout out to them. Shout out to our guy Owen Rogers. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Gentle Force. Oh, what's going on, Candy? How you doing? How you doing? Long time no see, girl. Shout out to our guy A. Shout out to our guy Tone. Shout out to everybody, all the builders in this space. DocuHero, Skylark, TCK. Tap into thecryptocrew.com for your latest Web3 news. And yeah, y'all, it's been another one, man. Shout out to everybody from the cohort 6, 7, and Trey. You know what I mean? These special individuals in these cohorts, man. And
Cohort 3.
shit, we got a couple of more weeks. Not even that, man. We got like what, 10 more days, 9 more days to this event, to this pitch fest. So we gotta, yeah, man. We gotta ship up,
Hey,
man.
Trav, you killing it.
You got the ill
Wait,
sound
hold
effects.
on. So I pressed the soundboard that has like the money with wings, and that's the sound it made.
That's
I'm
lit.
like, bro, they gotta fix this.
Yo, that's lit, man. These sound like you got the Looney Tunes, ad libs, and all of that in effect, man. That's pretty dope, man. That's super dope, man. That's fire. So yeah, y'all. Y'all see the banner if y'all watching live on YouTube or Instagram, man. Hit the QR code. You be able to tap into the website. That's how we do, man. I appreciate everybody's patience today, man. I apologize to everybody for being tardy, man. Tardy to the party, but thank y'all for being supportive. Thank you to my co-host NFTia Just Cheeze. They've been holding it down. We on 86 now. Here's the crazy part. We got 14 more episodes.
Yeah.
14 weeks. So what's that? 3.5 months till we at episode 100. We gotta do something special, man. We might have to pull out some champagne or something for episode 100, yo. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have to do something fly, man. Special guest, man. I don't know. We might have. Who knows, man? But we got a lot of time to think about this, man. And 2026 gonna be a lit ass year for us, man. And I'm excited for all of the builders in ABC, man, because man, it's a special group of people, man. And I think Marlon, and I think Starter Labs and Stand with Crypto. Shout out to all of the the companies that's been involved with just believing in all of the developers and builders here, man. Because man, I don't know where we would be if it wasn't for ABC. Like straight up,
Straight up.
I feel like we all be building in silos and on our own little islands. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for ABC. So I'm extremely grateful and appreciative of this place, man, and the bar chef, man. Um, my co-host, man. Any last words? Any last things y'all wanna say?
Nah. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in, and gonna see you on the next one.
That's right. That's right. Y'all already know how we do, man. This is your boy T.Gold, founder of the Crypto Crew, TCK Web3 News, episode 86. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody tapping in. And you know how we do every time we close out the show. We close out the show with some fly hip hop, y'all. So I think I'm gonna bring this song up right here, man. This is one of my favorite artists, Raekwon, the chef. You know what I'm saying? With my boy Nas Esco. Shout out to Nas Esco for getting that casino in Queens. He expanding out there because they already got a casino, only got the slots, but now it's about to be a full-fledged, casino. They trying to rival Vegas, man. So, Jay got eathed, man, for the second time on a casino tip now. You know what I mean? So this billionaire wars, man. Cheese, okay. Cheese, what's your thoughts on this, man? What you think?
Nah, that was funny when there was a lot of noise that was like, yo, Jay got ethered because he didn't get the casino space, but Nas did.
That's right.
I feel like, kind of like you said it though, Queens been had that casino over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a hard sell for them to basically want to expand upon it, and it's all the way out in Rockaway.
Yeah, Ozone.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
far Rockaway. So it's like it's not in the city like Manhattan downtown, Times Square, in the middle of what's already a mess. You know, so I don't really look at it like a Jay versus Nas thing, but the streets made it a Jay versus Nas thing.
Yo, I think Jay made this a Jay versus Nas thing. Yo, before we end, I gotta say this. Let me say this, man. As a Nas fan, if y'all been keeping up with this man's career over the past, damn near 3 decades, that's right, 30 summers. Every time Nas was dropping something, Hove was dropping something. You know what I'm saying?
Nas dropped 6 albums and that nigga Hov just grew his locks and chilled with his kids.
He did, but at the same time, he was doing little shit. You know what I'm saying? He was doing little shit. He was doing a lot of bullshit. If I pull it up right now,
Oh my God.
if I pull it up, every time Nas released the album, Hov was trying to release something at the same time. That's documented. That's not cap. That's documented. You know what I'm saying?
He released 6 albums in 3 years. Hov didn't write one bar. He wrote not one, maybe one. And it was on a song with Nas, with DJ Khaled. Come on, man.
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Play that Hov and Jay-Z,
I'm gonna play this one.
Play that Hov and Nas.
I'm gonna say this one thing. Nas' son name is what? Knight. How do you knight somebody? Right? You hit them with the sword on their shoulders, right? That's done by a queen or a king.
Siri.
So,
Sir.
when you knight them, what do you call them? Sir.
Oh my gosh.
So
man.
Nas' son is Knight, and Hov first son name is Sir. You know what I'm saying? It's little shit like that.
Hey, man.
It's little shit
the
like that,
hip-hop
man.
Conspiracy theory, I never knew. It ran so deep.
I never even
Man,
know.
just play that Nas and Jay-Z.
Nah.
Play that.
We played Nas and Raekwon, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Just know that, Nas my favorite MC, and I'm glad he got the casino, man. Shout out to Nas, man.
Shout out to Nas.
You know what I'm
Peace
saying?
out, y'all.
And I'm going to tell you how futuristic he is. From being Nostradamus, he named his first album Illmatic. He minted his first NFTs on Polygon, which is called Matic, now Poe, right? He ethered Jay-Z. Guess what the second oldest crypto? Ether. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
like,
my!
come on,
hey,
he crushing
man,
them. He crushing
man,
them. He crushing them.
hey,
You know what I mean? So, that's just hip hop talk. I can talk about hip hop all day, but you already know that we got to save that for Web3 wavy segments. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Jay Rich because the video's popping up. But we're going to end off on the Armerta. All right? So, that's Nas and Raekwon off of that, The Emperor's New Clothes, yo. You heard? This your boy T.Gold. Let's go.
Gambler who run the Carolinas, the bands come. Throwbacks, exploring all the rap shit, you slow gassing. Bring water like the Johnny Punch that flow nasty. Hit sewers with shooters, the audacity. Fascinating, appealing, underworld, a wonder girl. Dope fiends love it, shooting they nuggets up. Extreme criminality, I'm like the Rothsteins, the offsprings. All this tough inside my galaxy. Frankie Yale in jail, silks, diamond spiders, we master writers. You dumb out, relentless on the come out. Nocturnal habits, the mavens. I'm too insulated. This is just a crusade, nigga. We made it. The gun told us the road is getting older, it's over now. Eating hummus and rovers, he tweaking, fumbling gophers, get rocked and they loafers trying to stunt. Blunt front, knowing niggas and notice we jewel kings hate the bother. You argue, you don't even argue with it, slide it off, make a movie nodding off. Drinking makers, the paintbrushes, we cake makers, Louis luggage, popping the Dewey brothers, we straight haters. Ferragamo's glass shoe chase, what's this? Just a silk and a crunch wrist, your lunch niggas. Call the chef and his leftovers, they eat everything. Some niggas get caught in their best moments.
We the examples, we who we said we was, never faked it. Ones who were jury they couldn't play with, the ones who stayed rich. Details of my revolutionary ways probably get studies of CIA shit. Who has true power? The Torah of synagogue leaders, Quran readers or palm readers, witchcrafters or Christian pastors, rich rappers. Mark said, religion's the opiate of the masses. When Nas says, I got thoughts as if a therapist said. What time you want to learn what's in my head? While I'm reclining, I'm just stating facts as I respond. Like when the army walks with assault rifles and army bases far beyond New York. Or foreign blocks like Hamas, guys in emergency triage. Extended magazine that targets off. Heart beating stops, car speeding, cops pull you over to check for warrants. So give your best performance. Nobody got time for petty in the city of bosses. Sirens is my psychiatry office. This morning I woke feeling great, so I went to an auction to get lost in a different scene. Spent the ticket on art, so interesting. A painting of a fiend in Hudson Yard. Another painting was black natives before Central Park. You know the claims, this was all native terrain. And the year was like 16 something. So could this mean hustling began when the Indian finessed the Dutchman with opium on horseback? This way before crack. We always been the mecca for supply and demand. In every era, legends in this land was going hand in hand. Damn, it's mind-boggling who we are, the modern kings. It's spooky in Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn, and all of Queens. It's Staten Island, real type shit. Dying species of real men. I feel that shit, yo.
Yo, peace. Thank y'all for tapping in, y'all. We out.
Yeah. Brolic shit, nigga.